Hello and welcome, everybody out there in YouTube and Twitch and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting our community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here in our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. Lastly, or you could do it on Twitch, which you could have a free subscription already if you have an Amazon Prime account. All you have to do is link your Prime to Twitch, and you have a free sub you can give away. It's free money to give, and if you don't give it to me, you're giving it to Jeff Bezos. Do you really want to do that? No, he has enough of that money thing. But yes, if you're interested in joining any of our games, like this one, we do have open slots available. In fact, I believe we have open slots in all of our campaigns, except the Tuesday evening one, which we just filled up with another player. Yay! But yes, if you're interested, just let me know. Go through our Patreon, or you can message me here, or you can message me on Discord. I'm ProDM Joey literally on every platform there is, even if I don't check those platforms. I'm on Discord. It's the only thing you really need. But yeah, without further ado, Damson, tell us what happened last session.
Last time, we started off outside of our initial tavern, having successfully evaded the two guards that were looking for Ada. And now our plan was to get to a hostel at Mr. Amazing's suggestion that was across town behind the local church. As the party split into three groups, Mr. Amazing and Flittish, Damson and Cat, and Ada. Mr. Amazing and Flittish seemed to have some of the least trouble as they acted and changed into using, I assume, magic. I don't know. I wasn't there to see it. An older dwarven lady and pretended that Flittish, who was in cat form, was their cat that ran out in the cold. Thus, the guards kind of just ignored, like, oh, it's just an old lady with her cat that escaped. Nothing to see here. Ada used the shadows to sneak her way towards the hostel, and then Damson and Cat were just in the guise of, I believe, two halflings? Damson and his cat journey over there was almost caught by some mages that were roaming around as Cat started to laugh seeing a pixie that they summoned get completely blasted by a mage. Yet we were able to successfully convince them that we were just a couple peasants who were laughing and like, oh, wonderful magic, oh, that's so wonderful. As the mage is like, oh, fuck, ignore the commoners. They're not worth my time. Mr. Amazing and Flittish got to the hostel first and were trying to think of how to get by as there was guards up front looking for Ada with little wanted posters. Ada arrived second and was waiting in the shadows as well, trying to think of a plan, as Damson and Cat arrived, and we just kind of walked up and said, oh yeah, we saw this lady on the farm outside town, as the guards took off that way. Mr. Amazing then went inside first and was able to procure himself a spot in the hostel, followed shortly behind by Ada and then Cat and Damson. The party reunited. We spent most of the night talking about what we're going to do next, considering that threw a huge wrench into our plans, including the fact that we need to get our cart and get out of town completely. We decided to wake up early in the morning before dawn, and during the night, Ada decided to rummage through the bag of the only other person in this hostel. This hostel happened to be a former paladin of the Dawnfather, which seems to have left because they become disillusioned. Early in the morning, we made our way carefully back over to our original inn, where there was a singular guard up front guarding the stables. Damson cast a subtle suggestion on him to just remain asleep for the next 3 hours and ignore everything going on around you, as he was then swiftly looted by Ada and Mr. Amazing, if I remember correctly. As we got our cart and we started making our way out of town, The gates were wide open, yet there was a guard that was starting to come out to, check to see, hey, you're heading out kind of thing, just to see who's coming and going. As we tossed a gold coin his way that stuck in the door, with him distracted, we left without him fully seeing who we were. Meeting up with. No, it was Mr. Raisy was outside of town. It was Kat and Ada who robbed the guard. Meeting up with Mr. Raising outside, making our way over towards the general direction of Yurn, as that was the quickest path to get up towards the mountains. 2 hours in, I felt the suggestion end suddenly and earlier than it should have, meaning either that spell got dispelled or that guard is dead, one way or the other. As we were making our way out there, we stumbled across a camp that had a singular person covered in blood standing in the middle of it, muttering about how the worm killed them all and it was hurt. And from what we could tell walking up, this looked to have been a paladin of Palor. And that is where we ended the session as we started to approach.
So, whom here is proficient in medicine?
I am.
Okay. Nobody else? You may roll a medicine check.
12.
12. He's in shock. This is one of those things that usually takes a lot of time to break out of. You know that there's some practice to help getting people out of shock. You just don't really know specifically what that is. Never been your focus of studies.
So this guy is clearly a bit traumatized. But maybe we can at least try and talk to him to see if maybe he knows where this worm is. If it is a frost worm, I mean, maybe we could go with the plan we tried to and get some more protective gear for Fliddish.
Yes. Well, I suppose I'll go up and see if I can get their attention.
Right.
I'll start walking that way, seeing the paladin up there is like approaching slowly. Hello there?
They continue their murmuring.
I'm gonna start walking around like the outside of him, like keeping outside of like melee range as I'm like getting to near the front of him. Excuse me, sir?
Yep, they keep
Hello?
murmuring.
Gonna start slowly approaching with like a water skin in my hand and no other weapon. Start getting closer. Sir, you all right?
They continue murmuring.
I'll then try to put a hand on the shoulder.
Okay. The moment you touch him, he reaches for his weapon and begins swinging it wildly at you. Longsword. Yeah, he'll definitely miss, though.
Yeah.
Is anybody doing anything? Because this man he's in shock. He's just defending himself. And he will try to kill your ally.
Oh, shut up. Damson, get away from him.
I'll start stepping away.
All right. He'll back up slowly over towards one of the tents, putting his back against it, and just holding his weapon out, terrified at, well, the monster that stands before him. Why the fuck did you guys send the Dragonborn to try to quell him?
I'll start approaching as well. Hello there, good sir.
Too many.
Please calm down. It's the worm is gone. It's just us here now.
We mean you no harm. I'll start approaching.
Do you want some hot soup, maybe? Do we have any hot soup? We can make some.
You can make some.
That is one of the things that can break somebody out from their stupor. You may roll me a persuasion check, Ada.
26. Not
That'd be
20.
funny.
Much better. When you say something so outside the realm of his thought process, he just begins blinking and... A dragon? The hell is a dragon doing out here?
He's not. She's not a dragon. Damson, maybe you would like to introduce yourself.
Greetings tonight. I am Damson. I'm a dragonborn, not a dragon. We came across you out here as we were making our way up. Well, clearly you're not right, but can we assist?
He looks around at the site and... assist... No, you all need to evacuate the area. There's a full-sized frost worm prowling about. We need to evacuate immediately. Do you have a cart? Wagon?
Yes, do.
We do.
We do.
What direction did you see this worm head in?
He points over at the blood trail, where you see that there's two of his allies' corpses that he had drug most of the way back to the camp.
And you said the worm is wounded, right?
Yes. It's hurt, but we need to evacuate the area. There's not enough of us. We came up here with 20 men.
Sometimes a smaller group is more effective.
You believe yourself more effective than the paladins of Pelor?
In some matters, yes. But I do not mean to undermine your courage or your valor. But my friends and I have encountered many creatures before that we have come out victoriously against. So perhaps we might have a crack at it.
Are you adventurers?
Yes, I guess you could call us that.
We are, and although the paladins of Pelor are mighty, sometimes a slightly different tool is needed.
He'll look at all of you. The worm is significantly wounded. Some may even say it's hurt. There's many portions of its body that have been ripped open by our spears. We've managed to slow its movement by leaving large gashes within its torso as well. And we led it into an icy path instead of an earthy one, but it won't remain there for terribly long. Its burrowing capabilities are significantly lowered when it's not within the earth itself to devour and move through. The creature is wounded, but it is still incredibly powerful. It's laying its territory around here. Are all of you aware of how worms do so?
And no.
They scout out mountainous areas, but they prefer plateaus, tundras, things that are more wide open. They carve through on the surface, leaving these valleys that are distinctly shaped with their bodies in tow. As such, it's been venturing further out from its usual territory, and it's only within 2 miles of the road itself. The knights were ordered to come out here and cease the creature. We believed it to be a fledgling, a child, not a fully grown one. We laid our traps. It triggered many of them, but it was so much stronger than we had thought. It just leaped from the earth itself and in one chomp managed to devour 5 of us at a time. Some of us were lucky enough to get away with only missing our limbs, but he looks back over at his allies that are just... There's no saving them. They bled out and died a while ago.
What can you tell us about the resistances or vulnerable? I cannot get that word out today. Vulnerabilities that you noticed, if any.
Well, you aren't from around here. Don't try to use anything cold on it. Obviously. It lives in this territory. It's immune to all of its effects. However, because of the openings we've left within its body, it does have its protective shell weakened. Intense heats can ripple through it much more effectively.
Good to know.
There's 2 runes out in the area that we were fighting it in. We buried the runes under snow. We had a mage with us, or we had a priest with us, but the priest is gone. Vulnerabilities. Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
That wasn't even creative. I'm not giving you anything for that one. If it were to get too close to it, either of these runes, they would explode upon it immediately, momentarily dazing it and harming it the same. There's even a pitfall we have out there. Of course, pitfalls don't work terribly well against them, but it's a minimum enough to slow it down for us to lay our attacks and get into positions to trap it.
These runes, where were they at? How can we find them? Are they marked in any way?
They're in patches of snow that are lifted higher above the mounds themselves. One of which was placed on top of the edge of one of the valleys it was carving through. The other one at a lower marking point as well. The trap was down further past that. But that is a physical one. If it moved into the area, it would fall into it. Getting scratched up and momentarily stuck, perhaps, by some of the blades we have in there. All of them were curved and edged in different directions to make it much more harmful to it if it tried to escape it.
Yes, we'll hunt this worm. I just wanted to make sure that we don't run into the traps ourselves and something happened to us while we're hunting.
And, well, I suppose the question remains, will you accompany us and try to avenge your fallen comrades, or do you want to remain to take care of their burials?
Also,
yeah.
Are you wounded? Do you need wounds looked at?
Only flesh wounds. I'm fine. My captain managed to shove me out of the way from the first attack. Then its shrill, echoing voice just terrified me.
Let me have a look at you anyway. I'm somewhat of a healer.
All right. Go ahead, roll me a medicine check on him.
All right. 15.
Okay. He does have a handful of wounds. You could definitely roll a medicine kit and patch him up. But it does seem like he did probably what was the smart thing, which was try to get others out alive. They were not suited for this. However, looking at the 2 bodies over there, The beast you are looking for, the length of its body, you're unsure, but the width of its body is 20 feet across.
Ooh.
Based off of one of the fang marks from inside of its mouth ripping through the leg of one of them, you can see the curvature of it. And considering it's a worm, its entire mole on the inside would be filled. You can surmise it's a 20-foot wide worm.
Well, let me, I have some salve here I can put on your wounds. It should help a little bit. Yeah, so, do you want me to roll the hit die?
Yeah.
Because if you roll a 1, you get to re-roll it.
Yeah, his hit die is a D10.
Oh, right. All right. Well, he gets 5 hit points back.
My duty is to the burial of the men that can be saved. I have to take them back. If you all wish to go up against this creature, it's not one of the small ones that we usually get around here. It's... know the risk.
Well, it would be a shame to let your efforts go to waste. And seeing as it is already wounded, it's probably better to finish it off, if possible. And it just so happens we are looking for scales from frostworms, so...
Well, be mindful of the gashes on its body. It tends to curl itself over them, so ranged attacks aren't really capable of hitting them. But if you're close in enough to it, you should be able to get your blades within them. I.e., ranged attacks, its AC is normal. Up close, its AC is lower. But also, you would have to be melee with a fucking frostworm.
Yes, well, we will do our best, I suppose. Do you know if it's particularly resistant to poisons?
It's a monster of the wilderness and wilds. It's as tough as any of them. But it doesn't have any natural resistances to them.
Well,
and y'all can interpret what I'm saying however you see fit. It's
yeah.
They have really high con.
Yo.
Understandable.
Well, I'll look at the group. I suppose now is the time to speak if you have any second thoughts.
I think we are uniquely suited to deal with this situation.
Sure.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Now, whom amongst you has experience hunting monsters out in the wilderness, i.e. survival, expertise, or proficiency?
Proficiency.
Proficiency.
All right, well, you two, being proficient, you would know to trust your own ideas on how to get and deal with them. You know you don't want to be seen by them before you are in position. You want to be aware of their tactics and territories. You want to make sure you can cut them off from avenues of escape. And you know you need to be as careful as you possibly can when going up against something clearly much more powerful than you are. I mean, none of you have met anybody you would know would want to fight a frostworm by themselves. Including you, Mr. Amazing, who seems to know quite a lot about those wizards. Not a single one of them would ever want to fuck with a frostworm.
Absolutely not.
Fly spelling. Firebolt.
All right, so I suppose we should spread out a bit then. Don't get grouped up. seems from the marks on. It's at least 20 feet wide.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Keep ourselves spread apart, but not so much that we can't find each other.
Sure, yes. But yes, at least different angles of attack seems wise. I will use my bow.
Well, Flittish, are you ready?
Absolutely. Yeah, in fact, she will cast Elemental Weapon on her scimitar.
How long does that last?
I was just looking at that.
Oh, yeah.
I do not know from this.
1 hour.
Thank you.
Okay. Then you being proficient in survival would know. You probably want to get closer. Like I said, you guys have like 5 steps before you actually fight it. Be unseen, track after it, corner it off, then get ready for your angle of attack. This is
then
hunting a monster takes time, patience.
She will probably go wolf first to begin tracking.
Ooh, good.
And then as she gets closer, she'll switch to back to human so that she can use the sword and use like fire on the sword.
Perfect.
Nice.
So, does the wolf have the keen sense feature? I forget.
I don't remember either. It's been a hot minute. Let me take a look.
Yes, and I think maybe rather than being completely separated from each other, we split into 3 groups or 2 groups.
I was going to say we track together while in the initial stage, and then once we get closer and into an ambush position, then we split apart.
Yes, I agree.
Do not see.
Close enough that we can come to each other's aid if needed.
Oh, features and traits, maybe. Smell.
I think they might have changed it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm remembering how these character sheets are set up. I don't see it for the wolf, so we might have to go tiger then.
Wolf does not have it. Tiger.
Tiger has keen smell.
Okay, cool. So that will make your life a little easier to track. So you're taking over the tracking portion of this, I assume. Who's taking over the hiding portion of this?
Everybody else.
I think Ada.
Yeah. I'm assuming as much, at least.
Okay.
And I know she's already transformed, but and it won't have any other issues, but I'll also help Flittish since I have survival.
All right. That means you're leaving the lookout to somebody else. Very well. Ada, you can roll the stealth check. This is to help your allies navigate through the area as quietly as possible. At minimum, even though you have no knowledge of how to hunt things out in the wilderness, preposterous notion, you know how to leave no tracks behind.
16.
Still really good. Damn, you're so close to having that ability that pisses me off.
Oh, yeah.
Reliable talent is the dumbest ability in all of D&D. I hate it. It should only be skills you're an expert in, not proficiency. But anyways. I know rogues love not rolling dice.
Skill monkeys should be allowed to skill, you know?
Yeah. Fuck dice. Anyways. You are successfully allowing everybody to move through the area, taking up the rear position in order to make sure you're leaving behind no tracks, whispering and talking to one another to make sure everybody's being as quiet as you can out in this eerie location. Next, Flittish, you have the survival check. Or sorry, perception check to try to find it. You have keen sense, so you have advantage. You travel for some time, and you start picking up the scent of fresh blood, which is something to track after. But you realize the path that he had dragged his allies through may have sullied many of the locations. As you travel around for about 30 minutes or so, you eventually, without even realizing it, have wandered into one of its ravines. You thought it was a natural geological parting of the mountains. Then you realize, as everybody is realizing, this place has been carved out recently by the worm itself. Now, to say something is 20 feet wide is one thing, but to be standing within the thickness of its body, unable to run from one side to the next with a few steps, it is terrifying. Now, Mr. Amazing, you said you were helping out with that. Okay. That leaves Cat and Damson. One of you realized that the heads of the people before you might be getting a little more stuck on what's happening out here. Seeing the size of this monster, something none of you have encountered, at least to your knowledge. You know that your allies are getting a little flustered, a little worried. Do one of you want to take the responsibility of quelling people's fears?
Oh, it's probably not Cat. Oh, it could be.
That's
When you don't
Yes.
want to be somewhere, then you sometimes bolster other people because you feel better.
I'll try to help calm people down and bolster their confidence.
Okay. What do you say?
I'm gonna say, man, my mind just blanked on it.
It's
I
the
would
fear.
say, yeah, no, it's
Inspiring quiet.
no, I'm going to say, as I see everyone seems quite worried, I understand that everyone here is worried about, fighting the frostworm, but you must also remember we were able to beat that aboleth creature. None of us died. We got through it all together. Sure, Flittish got afflicted by her disease, but she's here. She's alive. None of us... We're not going to make the same mistakes that we have in the past fights. We're going to be much more well prepared. We know what we're getting into. We know that there's traps laid ahead. We know it's wounded. We're not going in blind. We got this. We can do this.
Okay. You may roll me a performance check.
21.
Yes, all of your disease slots are spoken for currently. Only bards unlock more. 21. Everybody, you begin to feel your nerves calm considerably. Yes, what you are going up against is so scary and bigger than you, but you know there's traps. You know you're all smarter, and you're all being careful. You realize she's right. You shouldn't be arrogant, but you don't need to be terrified by what you're doing. Now, last person, Cat. Perception check, please. As you're all moving, you realize that there's one portion of the ravine that looks unnaturally carved through, like the side of the wall that you guys have been walking through was billowed out, broken down. And you start pointing over in that direction for everybody to head up to. Once you start getting there, you realize you are taking a path to gain some high ground in this territory. And you all successfully have found your way over to the battle map. Mr. Amazing, Cat, Ada, and Damson. Let me bring you all over. From the higher elevation that all of you have found, you can see the worm is currently carving through this area, creating a bit of a nest within its wake. You can see it very harmed, as he described, but certainly still capable and mobile. You see these large gashes within its torso that are easily the thickness of a man. You see there are still some spears and harpoons sticking out from it in certain places as it's like slamming its body against some rocks to try to displace and dislodge them. Looking over at it, yes, the token is only barely size huge or gargantuan, but that is the thickness of its body and the height of it out of the ground. You all can see over that ledge, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's the map layer now, not the lights.
I can see the token. Oh, there we are. I just needed to move the map a little bit.
Look at the worm.
And we are... So we're about 90, 95 feet from it?
Yep.
Ish. Okay.
I'm going to take a moment and poison an arrow.
Yeah. Keep in mind there are traps around here. You just need to see them and find them first. Because you succeeded on your stealth check, you all can spend one action looking for one of them each. But you declare before you roll. So you know there are 2 glyphs and 1 pitfall.
It's a bonus action for me to apply a poison, so I'll look for one of them.
Sounds good.
I'll attempt to find one of the glyphs.
Okay. Ada, what are you trying to find? A glyph for the pit?
I'll look for the pit.
Okay. Ada's on pits. Who else wants to do... This is everybody can do one, so like each can get 2, so...
I will look for pit. I do not want to fall in it.
Okay.
Oh, I think Mr. Amazing would look for glyphs, because that makes more sense.
All right, so you and Kat are looking for one of the glyphs. Damson, you're reliable for the other glyph. Or sorry, you and Damson, Mr. Amazing. So Kat is reliable for the other glyph. So let's have the pitfall rollers first.
Can I attempt to use Arcana to find it, to look for any like arcane glow that might be underneath?
Are you a
snow?
pitfaller?
No, I'm a glypher.
Let's handle the one roll first, and then we'll get to yours.
Okay.
Sorry, what are we rolling for that?
Perception.
Thank you. Oh, wait. I probably... Yeah.
13. Nope. Ada?
Come on, Ada.
Yeah, I already rolled for it.
Oh.
You did? Oh, you rolled before I... Okay. Yeah, you guys are not the wiser to where the pitfall is. It seems to be well hidden out here. A battle did take place, so many things were probably displaced. Damson, you said you want to try an Arcana instead in order to sense it?
Yes.
Well, it's buried, so you still need to roll a perception check. But
Okay.
based off of your knowledge of the Arcanum, I'll lower the DC by 1.
Okay.
You have no idea where it is. Mr. Amazing, you were rolling for that one as well?
Yep, I'm going to look for a glyph. So perception, and I'm going to... Where's my character sheet? I'll use a lucky to give myself advantage.
And you have Arcana as well, so you can lower the DC by 1.
Oh, sweet. Here we go. Perception. 21. Oh, yeah. 21. Lowering the DC has no effect on the number I roll.
There it is. Over on this rock over here. If it gets close enough to it, it should explode. Now, Kat, you're the last one. Go ahead. You know there's one that's supposed to be on the ledge you guys are on right now.
Can I just say it's just there, not even look, without even knowing?
I mean, you can say that, sure.
Yeah, they're just going,
No.
yeah, it's over there, guys. It might be deactivated.
You are aware that he said the glyphs were made by clerics and that they will explode if anybody gets too close to it. Right?
Lucky I do not know cleric magic, so that's
Okay.
okay.
Sure.
Oh.
So
You
draw
see
a
it?
circle.
I believe so. It looks like stone over here. I will...
It catches us there too.
All right. All right. So now I need Arcana checks from the Arcana-ers. I think Damson and Mr. Amazing.
All right.
Okie dokie.
And I'll take off Lucky and Arcana. Come on. Yeah, that's all right. 14.
Yeah.
Nope, I already used. No,
The rolls today are really shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was
Yeah.
just. Wow.
I will use my. Oh, do I use it now or later?
It's up to you if you want to know what the glyph does.
I'll use it now.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll use my human thing. Okay. So let me see if it even works. Better. 21.
Much better. Okay, so the way the glyph is constructed, Mr. Amazing, despite it being divine in nature, they still have to abide by certain rules. This level of magic is one that you personally can't wield, but you have some pretty decent understanding of it. The moment something moves within 10 feet of it, snap to center, snap to corner. Yep, there we go. The moment something moves within 10 feet, 20 feet of the center of it, it is going to activate. And the moment something moves outside of that 20-foot circle, that is when it is going to explode.
All right. Here's what I know about the glyphs. It looks like, from what I understand, if something goes within 20 feet of that glyph, 20 feet, big range, it will activate. And then when it leaves that 20-foot radius, it will explode. So be very careful where you step and how close you get.
Almost perfect.
Now, if we were to do this smartly, we should split up into 2 teams. I'll go to the team on the west. I'll go to the west side, the one that I saw, and attack from range. I think if we do ranged attacks, we might be able to draw it to try to move towards us. The other team can be over by the one that Cat saw. Again, make sure you don't get too close. And I think if we pelt it with ranged, it might go for one or the other teams, which will drive it into the glyph. Now, mind you, the teams should also be a little bit, don't stand right next to each other.
Right. Well, I think I want to stay up here on the ridge.
Yes, we should all stay up on the ridge, and if we do range from there. So, for example, when I pull out my book and I'm going to draw crudely the map. And so...
You can mark up, feel free.
Let me take it off pinging. Oh, I don't know if I've drawn on the map before in a long time. Freehand. So if we... Oops. That's good enough. So if somewhere up here, with team 1, team 2 over here, right? And then we can aim, which should draw, hopefully, its attention to one side or the other.
Good work.
Yes. I would like us to be sure about where these other glyph is, though. We should also... Maybe we could look around a bit closer for the pitfall.
How do I erase?
You go to the select tool, highlight over top.
Mm-hmm.
And then hit
delete. It's the...
Or you just click what you have selected.
Yeah.
I can't do it because I'll delete mine as well.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just...
Which mine are staying there, so you guys know where the no-no zone is.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. It doesn't explode the moment you step in. It's just if you step out, it is going to be a large fiery explosion.
Kind of like in the movies when they hit that tripwire and then they just kind of stop.
Fuck. Just yeah. Don't worry, it'll be clear as day to you.
As soon as it explodes.
Well, no, as soon as you step into it, it'll be clear. It'll be glowing brightly and starts doing warning sounds and
yep.
Don't step out. Or explosion. Or deck save, whatever.
Oh, I don't have a horrible dex on this. I didn't. That's right.
We'll start moving over this way.
All right, show me the path that you move. Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
I will start.
Okay.
And let me just double check.
You quickly get into position. But you guys all have taken multiple actions at this point, so I'm just going to roll for it. 9. Okay, yeah, you're still good. It seems to have knocked loose a couple of the harpoons inside of its scales, but it hasn't fully dislodged all of them yet.
Be ready, just in case we need. And as I move, I say mine, and I'm going to Hunter's Mark the worm.
The moment anybody begins casting a spell at the enemy, we are rolling initiative, and that counts as on your surprise round.
All right, well, before all of that goes down, I've cast Elemental Weapon, and I'm going to wait to move until I know what direction the worm is going.
Okay.
Question, looking at it from where we're at, does it look like this creature has eyeballs?
Nope.
I want to motion for Cat to come here. Cat, how about you and I get up in the air? It doesn't look like it has eyes, so I don't think it can see.
Ow.
How get up in the air? I have wings. I could just fly us up above.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
Yes. I would like to pull out my wings and get us 15 feet in the air.
Okay. Cat, you're on Damson for that?
Yeah.
All right, let's send 2 back so Cat can be on top. And Flittish, you're waiting there until...
Until I know what direction the worm is going.
Okay. Mr. Amazing, you're in position. Ada, you're in position. Everyone else. Damson sprouts the wings.
Yep, gets up in the air.
Well, yes. Roll initiative. Y'all have advantage. It has a disadvantage. Perfect.
Ooh, nice,
2.
Damson.
Right?
Dang, everyone's doing really good on there.
Ada's
Sorry.
consistent.
Sorry, Ada. I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
Hey, you still beat it.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Remember, you don't have to be first. You just don't want to be last.
Yeah.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Oh, damn. All right, Mr. Last Place. Cat, you are first. You are 15 feet in the air.
None of my attacks can reach it, so I don't do anything.
Do you wish to hold an action in case you could reach it?
Yeah, the first sign of I can see it, of 2 criteria of it's close enough and it's already do damage, I would do Toe of the Bell.
Okay, it does have damage. You guys see its hit point bar, right?
Yep.
Okay, so when it's within range, you'll do it. It's already hurt.
That
Yeah.
is how. Oh, I thought it was max health. Oh,
No, it's hurt.
okay.
Yeah, that's why this
It's
is
hurt.
a feasible fight. It's hurt already.
Thank you, Joey. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I would not have thrown a full health, perfectly mobile worm at you guys. Unless I'm describing as run. Like,
Yeah, this isn't a Death March campaign.
yeah, I'm not that much of a dick.
Yeah, I wait until it gets into my range then.
All right, Damson.
Okay, I'm going to move us over to here.
You're 15 feet in the air. Okay.
How far down is that fall? Because
Measure. 10 feet.
10 feet? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to keep us above on this ledge so that falling hurts. We've learned from the inn. Can only imagine that fall's going to be very hurtful. And then I would like to do... Where is my sheet? Where is my sheet? I'd like to try and kite it towards the explosion by using Fireball on like this on the bottom right side and make it try and run away from the fire into the glyph.
Alrighty, fireball then.
Skidoosh.
Alright. And I have to roll a dexterity save. Something worms are known for being good at. So that'll be 58 points of damage.
I forgot one other thing. I have to add, what is it? Innate sorcery. No? Another 5 damage for elemental affinity.
Alrighty. Nice. Good chunk on that fireball.
Boom. Oh, I like the effect.
All done, Damson?
Yes.
Alright, Flittish, you're up.
I'm holding action until I know what direction the worm is going.
And that held action is going to be...
To run in that direction.
Alrighty. Mr. Amazing.
All right. We did the bonus action Hunter's Mark, just in case it goes away, but also helps.
You do that now. I said the moment you do that, we're rolling initiative.
Yep. And then I'm actually going to slide to there. And I will do, what's it called? Scorching Ray.
Alright.
Yeah.
Scorching Ray is what range?
It is I think it's 120, but let me just double check.
120.
Okay, go for
120.
it. Roll your attacks. Your first one
And
has
I'm doing
advantage.
And I'm doing it at 3rd level. Okay, where did it go? There we go. So it is, let me just double check something. So I get to 4 rays. That'll be 4 rays. First attack, you said has advantage. Now it pops up on the what level spell. So just the first one, look at the advantage. The others are not. So first one.
Crit.
Oh, crit.
Miss, hit.
Okay. So we'll do the crit damage. And then I get the Hunter's Mark is a D6 of... So this is fire. Hunter's Mark is force. And on that first crit, I'll roll 2d6 because it's normally a d6. Oops. So add 7 onto that damage. So 24 on the first hit. But 17 of that was fire, 7 is force. And then the second damage, which was this one, and a d6 of force. Seven fire on the second hit and 3 force.
Nice.
As Mr. Amazing raises up and you see 4 bolts of fire. Or rays of fire, I guess. I don't know, whatever they're called. And I'm done.
Ada.
Yeah. Ada will, after having a brief moment to just look at the anatomy of the creature, try to look for a weak spot and loose an arrow towards it.
Alright.
A poisoned arrow.
You have advantage on the first attack.
Yep. Let me just check. Everything is toggled. Okay. 15 to hit.
That misses.
Ugh, fuck's sake. Yep.
Alright.
And then bonus action sneak.
Alrighty. The frostworm is going to burrow.
Also gonna move back a little bit.
Are we able to tell from disrupting ground the direction that it's going?
Yes, it seems to be heading over this way. Away from the fireball and towards the pelts of fire. Over this direction.
Okay. Then I think that would trigger my held action and I would move in that direction.
All right, start moving.
Is there a way down?
Yes, it's a climb speed though. Do you have a climb speed?
Not as a human.
All right, well then that'll be additional movement. So here that'll
Okay.
be 10 extra feet, so you're at 20.
Okay.
And then 30.
Okay. I will hold there then.
Alrighty. Cat. It seemed to have gone underneath the earth and now is approaching.
Okay. Well, I do not see it, so I am going to... Does that make sounds? Just making sure. No, okay. I will just shoot Eldritch Paw. Oh.
It does make sound. Faint musical notes or an odd odor.
Oh!
Yes. You create an instantaneous, harmless sensory effect.
Actually, yeah. I will put it directly on the ground so it's vibrating in that general direction of the big arcane circle.
Over here?
Yeah. Like...
Awesome. Kat, roll me a performance check. Let's just see how enticing you can be towards that arcane glyph.
11.
Okay. It's certainly not going to hurt anything. All done, Kat?
Yes.
All right, Damson.
I would like to hold my turn until it pops back up. And I'm going to hold Scorching Ray.
All right, held action, Scorching Ray. Cool.
Hmm?
Flittish.
Going to move this way, kind of skirting around where I think the...
Show me the path you are taking. Okay.
And at this point, I'm going to just wait for a worm.
Alrighty.
Holding your action to hit it with your sword or whatever? Is that what
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about all I can
Alright.
do at this point.
Mr. Amazing, you know exactly where it is. It is 10 feet beneath the surface, so no chance any of your magic is going to hit it. And it's right here.
All right. I am going to... Oh, I got an
Wait,
idea.
you casted 2 leveled spells in the same turn.
Nope. My Hunter's Mark I can use without a spell slot.
Okay, that's why. Gotcha.
That's why, yeah. Bonus action. What is the spell description? Hold on, sorry. Just give me an idea. I'm gonna do bonus action minor. Maybe I can't. 30 feet. And you said it was where at?
exactly right here underneath.
Oh, too far away. Dang. Oh no, I get an additional 60. Cool. Right there, on top of the snow, minor illusion. I'm gonna make like a bullseye. A minor illusion of a bullseye on the ground with like arrows pointing towards the center.
Ding,
So
ding,
that people
ding,
know where
ding,
it's
ding, ding. That's great.
And then, so that's a cantrip. And so then I'm going to hold my action. I was expecting it to pop up, sorry. And then I will hold my action to... but that'll get rid of... I'm just going to use my movement. Yeah, I'm just going to move my movement. And I'm going to move 5, 10... No, I'm going to keep going this way. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to move over here. I don't know that Miss Ada's there, but... Lady Ada. Whatever I'm going to call you. And I'm done.
Alrighty. Ada.
Yeah, I'll stay hidden and keep a bonus action to loose an arrow at it when it rears its ugly head.
So, you all notice it disturbing the earth as it is moving closer and closer and closer to you, Flittish. And all of this happens at the exact same time as it sprouts from from underneath you, Flittish. Or sorry, before it sprouts from underneath you, it is going to do its trill. That's not a circle.
Oh, goody.
So,
Nice.
Damson and Cat, you're within that range, because you're only 15 feet high. DC 20 Wisdom saving throws. Flittish, Damson, Cat.
Oh, thank you, Ada. Thank you, Ada.
It's a mothering worm, guys.
He did warn us, though. The paladin did mention something about it. So.
Yeah.
Wait, from Flittish's level, though, if you include the elevation for that one, we're 25 feet up in the air.
Yes.
We might just be outside of range.
Measure from yourself up. No, you're not.
Darn.
Yep.
Worth a shot to see if it was.
Yeah. Come on, Cat and Damson. Cat, you have advantage?
No, it's just rolling for advantage.
Okay. All three of you are stunned.
Shit, should have held my action. But I was like, oh, there's plenty of them.
Yeah. Overconfidence is what kills Cat. I mean,
Flittish.
yeah.
Parties.
Alright. Sorry. The new compendium thing is really stupid. I look up stunned and it brings up all of the mechanic rules instead of just stunned.
I will say some of the stuff that is easier to find and other stuff is really hard to find. But here's stunned. I'll drop it in the chat.
It should just be hyperlinked. Like, I'm working on making my own handouts in games where I put all conditions in specific handouts so I can easily just click, and done. Because, yeah. You are incapacitated, meaning you have no reactions, bonus actions, any of that shit.
I think you can still...
You can move. That's it. You still have movement. You fail strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against you have advantage. Now, this is what happens simultaneously. It shoots out of the ground, biting at you, Flittish, and...
Sure, of course.
least we solved the Flittish curse, whether you live or not. It's gone.
Oh my
Moving
God,
into the
British.
2 circles.
Oh.
British.
Cat, you weren't that far off of where the other circle was.
Hey man, I understand how these go. It just makes too much fun. It's like it's over there somewhere, guys. It's okay.
Suck the
Oh
Flittish
god,
up,
that was
walk
almost a
on it, though.
natural 20.
Oh.
Whew. Okay.
I think that'll hit.
Yup.
It's gonna leave a mark.
That'll be 14 piercing, 15 cold. Ada, your arrow loosens over towards it. Your held action goes off.
Yep. Double check. Okay.
I mean, at least you have that temp HP from Wolf.
Yeah.
Human.
No, temp HP
23?
stays even when you wild shape out of it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Druid is actually really, really good and fun. That'll hit, Ada. Let's fucking go.
So let's.
All right, so that's 24 damage.
Nice. And as your arrow sinks into it, staggering it backwards, it lands outside of the 2 glyphs that go off. Flittish, since you're the one tanking it, how about you roll
15.
the
Okay, hang on.
explosive damages?
I'm sorry, I'm rolling the explosive damages.
Yes, 4d6 twice because it moved into 2 of the radiuses.
4d6.
Hey, at least you don't take any of it.
Yep, you're right outside the radius. You were so
Yeah.
close. And then roll the other one. All of that is fire, so all of that is doubled. And with your arrow knocking into it, staggering it backwards, Ada, the 2 glyphs explode loudly in the air. And for a moment, all of you only see dust and fire engulfing around where Flittish is. And when it settles, the worm collapses to the ground. And Flittish, you are literally a nose hair length away on either side from where that explosion was going off. And congratulations, guys. You all killed a frostworm.
Woohoo!
And we're going to go ahead and go on
Oh.
break. Be right back.
Total superhero moment there where the explosions are.
Ilvorn just walked away. He'll be right back.
Okay, we'll resolve his shit first. No.
I used recap to get a 19 on mine, just so you know.
Thank you. Yes. All right. So Cat, and Damson and Mr. Amazing. You said whom were you helping, Mr. Amazing?
Me.
Cat. So did you roll advantage, Cat?
I did. I got a 24 for my first roll and a 7 for the second.
I assume you're gonna stick with the 24.
Yeah, I think it would be more beneficial for the party than the 7.
Okay.
This time round.
So while everyone else is more focused on the biology of the worm itself, you remember, Damson, Mr. Amazing, and Cat, that this thing just ate like 15 or more paladins. And paladins are known for one thing: heavy armor. So you start going into its stomach sack and the lining inside of it and start carving out various coins, valuables. Knowing your guys' roles now, whom would care more about the coins and valuables, and who would care more about the weapons and armor?
Amazing is more coins and stuff.
I think Cat would be more for, like, old relic kind of stuff that shouldn't belong.
So valuables.
Yeah, like, we don't know how old this worm is, so it might have something of particulars like, oh crap, this looks nice.
All right. So Damson, it looks like you're getting stuck looking at the armor and stuff. Which is okay, you both rolled very fucking well. So, Cat. That is what you get, Cat, as the valuables and the coins. 450 GP, 720 silver pieces, and 5 signet rings that identifies 5 of the paladins that were killed here.
1 for each digit. Nice!
Fucking thumbs, cats. Anyways. Next. Damson. There is a full set of plate armor that is damaged but could be repaired for 150 GP. You find here. You also get 5 sets of chainmail armor, 6 shields with Paylor's insignia, 3 warhammers, 7 longswords. Now, in addition to that, there is 1 longsword in here that has a frost blue colored inseam going all the way up to the very tip, where it slices downwards just for 2 inches with that same frosty blue tint to it. In addition to that, there's 1 pair of large fur boots that are completely unscathed.
If you would like, I can test these and see if any of them have any magical properties.
This is where somebody else role plays.
Yep.
Damson, are you muted? Or yeah, Damson's muted.
Go ahead if you wish to do that.
Sorry, work call. Yeah.
Yes, let me study these a bit, and I'll get right back to you. Above the table, give me 4 minutes to get back to my computer.
Yeah, you have Identify, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Then I'll just post what these 2 items are. What were you saying, Ada?
No, I was just kind of figuring, Ada wouldn't be part of that discussion since she's busy looking at the scales and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, a work call, so it's the mute trying to communicate with the blind who can't read what they're, it's he can't see, he can't talk. It's
nothing seen, nothing heard.
Yep. Best communication. Anyways, so Ada, we'll start with your weavers.
Yeah, shitty roll as always.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I need reliable talent.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, you successfully find 6 small scales of the worm, which is just barely enough to turn into a light tunic, if it's worked on carefully with precision with a very skilled hand. You have the necessary components to make a small tunic for Flittish. It's the same as padded armor, but it'll give Flittish frost resistance.
Right.
Hey.
Yes. Which is the #1 reason you guys wanted to kill this shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, some of you. Ada, Alchemists. 14 got there. Good shit. I need you to roll me...
No, I don't have advantage, so it's an 8.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me a D2. Tell me what you got, because I'm not scrolling up and down.
Yeah, 9.
On a D2?
Oh, no, on the 1. So, I figured for some reason I would add that to no, but it's I got a 1.
Good talk. All right. All right, you got a 1? All right, that's good. That's good. You get enough of an icy venom sac inside of it to use as the primary component that will be able to apply the frost resistance perk to the tunic. But you weren't able to harvest the other one. Apparently the explosions destroyed it.
Yep.
All right. So Ada rolled that. Ada did that. And now Poisoners, 21. That's what we
finally
like to
some
see.
kind of roll.
Hell yeah. 21 on Poisoners. Okay. So, you know how there's purple worm poison, right? Well,
Yep.
frost worms don't exactly have a poison per se. They have a essence to them. It is what makes every aspect of their body cold to the touch. Melee attacks against it are freezing cold. It just sends shards flying at you. Its bites are frigid. Look at Flittish, like half of their body was just like ripped into by it. So you managed to harvest some of that essence within its core. If you are to refine this, it would probably take you a week to do so. You might be able to make a frost... God, what are those called?
Icicles.
No, it's something that, if consumed, is deadly.
Venom? No, that's a poison.
That's poison, yeah. So venom is when something bites
we know.
into you and injects it, and poison is substance of soaking or going through your intestines.
So frost poison. Thank you. I didn't know that. Well, I know it, but it's one of those things I always fuck them up. So you get a frost poison. If you can refine it properly, it'll be a fairly difficult to detect essence that, when consumed, may freeze the person from the inside.
Okay, so yeah, freezing venom or poison. Yep.
But you have to refine it to make it into something you can control.
Okay, so enough ice worm scales for a tunic.
Mm-hmm.
And freezing venom and a poison sac or venom sac.
Okay. And those were yours. And now, Flittish, did you have advantage?
I thought you had said it was an advantage.
Oh, yes, because you have survival and you have...
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good.
I was like, I knew there was a reason I did it.
Ada, you don't have survival,
that
right?
That was like a whole couple of minutes ago.
That's okay, yeah. I was just making sure we dot those I's and cross those T's. Well, damn. Nice. You need to roll me a D4 plus 1.
D4 plus 1.
All right. You got 2 vials worth of the worm blood before it completely froze over and it's no longer malleable. You could use this in a simple craft of a healing potion. Each one would be able to craft that. Or a much more complicated potion of cold resistance.
Okay.
Yep. This is the valuable component for the healing potion. And for the potion of cold resistance, it's half of the valuable component. It's just, it takes longer to make the other one.
Gotcha.
All right. And lastly, none of you have cooking supplies, right? Damn. Yeah, no cooking. Disguise doesn't help here. Thieves don't. Glass blowers, no. Okay. That is everything you all can safely harvest from it. Except for Damson, because of your monstrous being, it is not taboo to eat worms. They don't make you sick.
Okay.
So you can gather 1d8 plus 2 rations.
Okay. 7 ice cream rations.
Yep.
Oh, you must be collecting that for experimental and study purposes. Are you going to craft something out of the meat? The flesh?
Just looks at him. I'm just going to eat them later.
Eat?
Yeah. I can eat it just fine.
I see.
Can you not?
Most humanoids would probably find it vile, disgusting, and poisonous, but,
Well, it sucks for you then.
Yes, it does.
It sounds like alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, bon appetit.
Yeah, what does it taste like if
it's
I
a worm.
So roll me a nature check, Damson. Let's see.
Nature check. 19.
It's like a savory popsicle.
It tastes like a savory popsicle. It's good.
I'm sure.
Vladish, do you wish to say a prayer for this used to be one of nature's creatures and now it's part of the underworld? And, you know, the cycle.
Yes, that is something that Flittish would do, is give thanks for the bounty that its body has granted us.
Alrighty. So,
As she does that, can I use prestidigitation to make colorful wind?
absolutely. You can paint with all the colors of the wind. Thank you.
You get inspiration for that, Joey.
Fuck yeah, I'll take it. Wait, where's my handout for inspiration? I don't have a handout in this game for inspiration?
Nope, you've
Damn.
not gotten any.
Those motherfuckers. So all players can see. So, you all spend the better part of 4 hours harvesting this. You can short rest during the meantime. And once you're done, the only thing that remains are the aspects of the creature that are no longer really usable in any format, other than for people to eat. But apparently Damson's the only one who finds that appetizing.
Yeah. I know generally how like the looting thing works, but is no one able to like try to harvest any more scales from it?
Oh, thank you, Tor. I appreciate that. If someone else has weavers, or they can just do a survival check. You guys will be out here for longer, and the DC will be higher to get the same amount. But you can try. There is still some left salvageable.
Yeah, just seems weird. Like it's this huge beast, and you only have enough for a tunic. It's kind of
Yes.
Well, there was also the explosion, and
well, sure, yeah, but it's it's the whole logic of that system is just it's grinding against my rationale.
I understand.
Just make your brain pretend that those 2 large explosions ripped everything apart.
Why do you ruin all of
just...
it? You ruined it with the fire.
And the fireball.
Yeah, it's just.
Yes. Sadly, that's all that you are able to harvest from it. I mean, there may be more of it here that more skilled experts could get, but
right.
if you want to say bury it and then instruct people where to find it later, you can, but this is all you guys can do out here without like professional grade tools.
Right.
That's fair because this ring's pretty big and it's like, Well, we came here, we killed it, we got what we need to keep you dry for the dish so we can go further deep and get the salt. I hope there's music in the next place.
There's music playing right now, right?
No, there is. It's like, because nature's just like blowing, it's like, I wish there's some more music.
I gotcha. So everybody, are we heading back to your caravan?
Yes.
Yep.
With
We should.
loot in tow. If you saw in there, everyone from that gold we got gets 75 and gold pieces and 120 silver, with 1 share going to the party loot.
I'm sorry, what was that?
75 gold pieces, 120 silver, with 1 share of that going to party loot. Because I divided it by 6.
All right. Yeah, sounds good to me.
We should probably make sure the paladin is okay. Let him know that this danger's past, and help him get back to. Well, I don't know about getting back, but at least letting him know.
Yes.
I mean, if he is still there when we get back, then his survival skills is, hardly at that point. So, probably better to drag him with us just in case if he is still there. Because you said, Ada, he wasn't in the right state of mind?
Well, he might be more calm now, I suppose, and especially once we tell him that the beast is dead. He might be more back to his own faculties.
And we need to go find some salt, yes? Before we go to Ern, or?
Well, Jörn's on the way there, and that's why we're taking this road, yeah?
No, the road goes away. We need to go deeper into the mountain for the salt, from what I understand.
We could return to Jörn after the mountain, yes. We should have plenty of supplies. Also, good work at that combat, Mr. Amazing.
Thank you.
And Flittish, you were very brave going down there head first. You looked very cool when both of those explosions went off.
Yes, very strategic, placing yourself in between the two. That was a marvelous bit of intellect. I would love to hear in the future how you did that.
Yes. Did you actually see that sigil over there, or was that? Because I thought Kat said it was over there.
Yes, that would make 3, but there were 2 that went off. But they said there were 2.
Well, no, there were 2, not 3. There were, other traps that you guys or we couldn't find together? I only found that one in that general direction.
So you didn't know precisely where it was, but you knew it was over there. Understood.
But so did you just sort of feel where it was, or how? I don't understand it.
I've been telling you, there's many things I'm able to understand and know. You go ask.
Sure, yes, I understand. But it's just weird to me. I don't know anything about this magic. It's to me, it's either you see something or you do not see something.
Like air. Can you see air?
No.
Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
What is that? What are you trying to say? Well, you can't see air if it's very on a hot day, for example. You see like shimmering in the warm air, but can't normally see it. Well, I don't understand what you're getting at.
Or steam. Sometimes if there's steam and the wind blows, you can see the steam move where the wind goes. Dust,
yeah, but steam is in air, right? I wouldn't know. I'm not man's of the science or woman's. Cat's of the science.
No,
because there was that one scared thing about a cat in a box. I can't do that.
Right. Well, I'm still trying to figure out if you actually are an idiot, or if you're pretending not to be, or if you're pretending to be an idiot, and are actually an intelligent entity.
That's the most scariest thing, right? Trying to figure out which is which.
No, I think I have got it. You are an idiot thinking you are not an idiot, pretending to be an idiot.
That could possibly be true.
I'm trying to track.
Right.
Okay, I think I got it. Okay.
Idiot pretending that they're not an idiot, but they don't know they're an idiot.
Yeah. It took me a minute to figure it out. That.
that whole Dunning-Kruger thing, you know. All right. So, well, if this is all we can get out of this, seems a bit of a waste. But I just thought there would be more scales. Anyway, I suppose we can go.
Actually, is the heart of this beast still intact?
It's completely frozen over. Well, also it's a worm. They don't have hearts.
Oh.
Yeah.
No fair.
Yeah, it has, like, worm, it's flesh mostly. Mostly everything inside of it is also, like, completely frozen. You guys are just getting what you can get.
Yeah, okay.
Next character, someone who actually finds all the loot. You're one level away, Ada. One level.
I know.
We're getting there. Mark where this is on your map. You'll be back.
I found all of the loot that was possible to my character.
Well, all right. So shall we get going then? Back to this
Yes.
paladin. Did we get his name actually?
No.
No.
Maybe you saw
I've got
that.
a question as we are moving by. Since now I've got like these 5 rings, am I like a paladin of vengeance because we killed that worm from them?
No.
Damn.
Are you saying
You are
that you want
someone
to
who-
multi-class into a paladin of vengeance?
Oh, that would be so funny. Oh.
Well, we should ask his name at least, and perhaps he knows that
Yeah.
other paladin who stayed in the hostel with us.
There was a paladin in that place,
It was?
Yes, there was.
but there was only us and this dirty guy.
And the what? The study guy?
The dirty guy. You know, who was huddled in the corner. Who
Oh,
wasn't
yes.
part of us.
Yes, that guy. He was, ex-paladin, I suppose, maybe. I checked this. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't a threat or anything. But, well, not a threat to me, at least. Maybe to undead cats, but who knows. But yes, he was a sort of, he got a bit, I checked his journal. He was a paladin of, also a Pelor, actually, who left their order.
Snooping
Did it
through
say
other people's
why?
journals.
I was taking precautions to make sure the group was safe, you know? I have not been snooping through anyone else's, any of your possessions, if that is what you're asking.
Mhm.
You caught yourself there. I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I remember that one time when me and you went into not the Baron, but the person just underneath the Baron.
Yeah,
so
I
what-
remember.
Well, I mean, I don't steal from companions.
I respect that.
Right.
Wait, are you saying still, as in like you would still borrow it then give it back?
No.
Okay,
mean-
just making sure.
I assume you guys are heading back as you're having
Yeah.
this
Yeah, yeah.
discussion.
Yeah, we're talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, by the time you all get back over to the campsite, you see the majority of the site is still intact, but many of the tents, two of the tents have been taken down, as well as what appears to be 2 of the large buffaloes. That's what they would have in this territory, right? Yeah, buffaloes. Missing, leaving behind a couple of other ones. Seems that the paladin had already made his way onto the road. When you get over towards your cart, you all notice that there is a note written down there.
Go check it.
To the noble adventurers, thank you all, and I pray to Pelor and any of your gods that may listen, that you find this. It was beneath a Sun Warden as myself to appear in such a state and stupor, and I apologize for that. I have left behind many of our provisions with the full expectation of bringing more of our paladins out here to recover either your remains or any remains of my allies that may remain there. If you do happen to find this, when you arrive in Yern, speak clearly and request favor amongst the Sun Wardens, seeking out Faizan ibn Rashad. I would be remiss if I did not find you a suitable reward for assisting all of us. And in the events that this note is still here upon my return, with the other paladins, I will be sure to find any identifiers I can for each of you, and send prayers and reparations back to your families as best as I possibly can. Yours with gratitude and grace, Sun Warden Faizan ibn Rashad.
Relay that to everyone. All right, so I suppose we have a bit of a friend there at least, or
Yes.
Non-hostile acquaintance.
A friend, yes, and nice note that they left. It's nice to know that if we had perished, someone would attempt to find our body.
That
And I
is
have a
actually very sweet. I wasn't
Yes.
expecting that kindness from a stranger, really.
Do any of you speak the tongue out here? Ketnese, I guess? I don't remember what specifically it was called.
The local
Baklunish.
Baklunish.
Baklunish, thank you. Do any of you speak Baklunish?
I have almost enough training in it to fully fluent now.
Okay.
To be full
Yeah.
fluent.
And
I'm
I
not-
don't, and it's fine that I don't. I had meant to talk to you about local languages and I forgot, so we can just say I don't.
Okay, no problem. I'm just raising my desk. I'll be in view in a moment.
He says that as he shrinks.
Yes.
He's not raising the desk. He's
He's suffering from a large reduce.
So
He's turning into a gnome.
No! You would be able to identify Ada. His name it means generosity, grace, and abundance within this Baklunish.
That is a very pretentious name. But so Mr. Amazing, what is your what do you know about these Sun Wardens? Is it like a specific sect of the Order of Pelor or something? Or
certainly I will explain to you fairly quickly what I know. Religion or history? Religion?
Yeah.
That's what I was assuming, but 13. It's not a...
Okay. No. Sun Warden is a low enough tier that you would know what they are. You are only aware of a handful of the titles given to the paladins. There's Lord Priest Commander, Supreme Leader of the Church. There is Exalted Marshal, who's usually a high-level strategist. Luminary Commander. These are like the Solar Justicar. These are ones that are like people know. Now,
Yeah, I mean, there's...
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. I'll let you finish that.
Now, among the lower ranks of the church, initiates or new recruits are referred to as light bearers. Or when they are about to become a full-fledged paladin, they become a dawn squire. A sun warden is somebody who has proven themselves enough to no longer be a dawn squire and have the official rank of paladin. They are an active knight of their church, whereas the others are still in training. So he's like the first level of paladin. Not level like D&D, but first tier.
Yeah, so Sun Wardens are they get that title when they become a Paladin of Palor. Of course, this would be after they've been the Initiate and then the Squire moving on up. So an actual real Paladin.
Right. So he's not like a leader, sort of, but more like a captain, kind of? Or
more like a sergeant or something like that.
Right, sergeants,
Somewhere in there, maybe a corporal. Lower rank. It's not like the higher tiers at all. But but people that become Sword Wardens, don't get me wrong. I mean, they are ranked and they do well. They're just not not a initiate or a squire. Think of it as like a knight. That's a good example. It'd be like a knight.
So, what can you tell me about these? Well, the Order of Palor. Is it what is their relation to the wizards of Polvar?
It's they're just different. One Palor, the religious people of Palor. There are people in the church that probably distrust wizards, and there's probably some that like wizards, and there's probably some wizards that worship Palor. If you're looking for a rivalry, I wouldn't necessarily say there's a rivalry of any kind. Necessarily.
I would look to the group, seeing that the note that he wrote. I am very surprised that he actually did end up caring for us in that regard. I think it would be the right thing to do if we made some small makeshift stands and leave the chainmail, the shields, and swords and the signet rings of the fallen, the complete sets, for them to at least know that we made an effort to recover what we could from their compatriots for when he does return, as well as leave a note.
Well, I mean, the signet rings, that is fine, of course, but the rest belongs to us, no?
Well, are we heading to Urn now? We could always take it to them and make sure that, like Damson suggested, the families get it. And then I watch for Adeline and see her reaction when I say that.
There's a slight, like, it's not a full roll of her eyes, but it's like that same expression without the actual roll.
The reason I suggest that is so that we can go and get the cure for Flittish before we're heading to Yurn, as I don't want to put her cure off longer than we have to.
Right.
And since he is coming back here, if he sees our note and the sets of, be it rings and shields and swords, whatever we choose to leave behind, he'll at least know that we made it back, saw his note, and that we will come to Yurn one day. So at least their families can get closure. Further endear us to them.
Well, I mean, it does. I'm just thinking this could present us with a new opportunity to perhaps not even need the swords. If we have a paladin who is sort of owes us a favor, so to speak, maybe. I mean, paladins are supposed to be able to cure a disease, right? Through magical divine intervention.
It would depend on the disease, I would assume.
I think that's just a rumor.
Yeah. I personally do not know, like, any magic of our tiers that is able to cure what she has. Being that magic has specific requirements, and for some reason, if we tried it, it will not see it as a requirement.
I'm not following here. What are you saying?
So, you know how we can repair wounds,
Yes.
but it has to be specific, a certain type. If the wound is too big, can't fix it, right? There's a limit of what people can and cannot do. So whatever she has is to a point that not even magic is wanting to affect it, or has placed it into our world as basically a means of nature, you know, like how wildfires can happen, or what's the better way, disasters just happens just because. Some people say through science or the gods.
Right. Well, I think you're overcomplicating it a little bit because I know. Well, I don't know how they do it, but I know paladins are supposed to be at least able to stave off infection from a lot of diseases, and I have heard that they are able to cure it. Not through like a spell, I believe you would call it, but more like a sort of blessing thing.
Is that not just on themselves?
Looks to Flindish. What do you wish to do? As it's really down to you. Would you like to go to Yern or to the mountains?
Above the table for Flittish, since she wasn't here last week. The salt is in the mountains, and it was suggested that we gather some salt before we go to Urn. And now we also have the scales, because the magical salt is not very abundant. It's scarce, but if we have that, that might help us as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking go to the mountains, get the salt, and then whatever else we need to do.
If you guys also remember when Ada did her check in order to figure out how she could reason her way through this using non-magical means to solve it, it was also believed that your other affliction could be possibly solved with this method as well. Which we know for a fact, no divine intervention is helping the other affliction. I can't remember its name.
Dalkir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, then let us head up to the mountains, and on our way back, you said you needed like blood transfusions from multiple individuals. That could be the favor you get from Yern for returning all the items, is get some of the paladins to help cure Flittish.
Ew, you don't want
paladin blood.
Ew, that's nasty, Damson. Why would you bring something like that up?
Right. Well, I mean, the point still stands that we are trying to cure not just the Aboleth affliction, but also the Dalkir. I was just thinking that if we are able to cure this Aboleth thing with more traditional kind of divine magic, it would make it easier for us to go up to Yern. And well, we still need to make this tunic out of the scales.
Yes. How about you and Flittish work on that as we're traveling up towards the mountains?
Sure.
And
that's what we're going to do anyway. But did you figure out if that those boots were magical, Mr. Amazing?
Yes, and he's been sitting here doing something in his spell book, drawing pictures or something. And So I'm doing it as a ritual, Joey, for the items. Identify.
Oh, I
And
thought I posted that already.
Oh, you may have. I was out of the room when that happened.
Okay.
You did. It's I have it written down. It's a +1 long sword and boots of the Winterlands.
Ooh. Yes, this long sword, very, very well crafted. Seems like it'll help someone using it hit better and possibly do more damage. These boots here are boots of the Winterlands, according to the book. And
what does that entail? I can see they have fur, but
boots with the fur.
With the fur.
Everybody looking at her.
They're just Uggs. That's all they
are. Let's see. Boots of the Winterland.
Requires attunement. These furred boots are snug and feel warm. While wearing them, you have the following benefits. Cold resistance. And can tolerate temperatures of 0 degrees Fahrenheit or lower without any additional protection. Winter stride. You ignore difficult terrain created by snow or ice.
Ice. Wait, would that just mean that Flittish needs to tune to that and that would work like the coat?
Yeah, you guys rolled very high on your loot table.
Well, some of us do.
So you could still make a tunic. The tunic wouldn't require attunement. The boots do.
So I let you know the information on the boots and the sword.
All right.
Huh. Wait, would that mean, same character, wouldn't that mean that Flittish just needs to wear those boots and she'll be fine?
Apparently, yes. I still want to make the tunic. I'll keep it for myself then.
Are you going to go into your Ice Witch phase?
No.
Heck.
I don't know how to do magic, Cat.
So I'll let it go then.
Yes, Flittish. Perhaps you might want
Cold never
to
bothered me. Sorry.
change into these boots so that since I think that's what you're using your I don't know. People would about
Flittish will go ahead and take off whatever she's wearing on her feet now and put on the boots. And from what if I recall, they were described as being very large. I'm assuming being magic, they will, once she's attuned to them, they will adjust to her size. But until they do, she looks like a kid in her parents' shoes.
Oh yeah. They were made for a paladin, so they're just slowly.
Yeah.
They're engulfing you right now.
Look, seeing them shrink just validates Damson's weird feeling about footwear.
Yes, because Damson doesn't wear footwear. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was one of the first additional things gained from like session 2.
Yeah.
Well, I suggest at least until we have these problems solved, Flittish, you can use the boots, and maybe after that we can, someone else can wear it, or we can sell them perhaps. If we're going to a hotter climate, we don't need it. But well, up here it's very useful anyway. And I'll see if I can make this tunic or a vest.
Sound good?
Is Ada smaller or taller than Flittish?
She's exactly the same height.
There goes my idea of Ada makes a vest for her and a vest for Cat.
What?
Oh, my thought was that Ada was smaller than Flittish, so there might have been enough excess material for Ada to also make a small tunic for Cat.
But
I guess not.
Yeah, you would need 2 small creatures, not. Yeah.
Yes, well, I mean, if we can get more of these scales. Maybe find a more well-preserved frostworm. We can try to get ones. But for now, I think it's only enough to make one.
Very well. Load it.
Like, I could try and make it like a robe, sort of, so you can potentially make it into like a cape or a cloak. Also, if you like unzip it, or what's a zip? I don't know, but button.
Like a onesie?
Sure. Maybe.
Okay. I mean, for none of your business.
Right.
Huh?
It doesn't matter, Cat. Let's just go to the mountains then.
I have fur. It does not protect me from that bitter coldness.
Right. We are aware.
So, you all begin off-roading the cart. Were you going to leave a letter for him? The campsite
Yes.
is mostly still there. All right. Whom here wishes to leave the letter, and what are you going to write on it?
Yeah, I think we're leaving
me,
the.
me,
Oh,
me,
go
me.
ahead. You can write the letter, and we were going to leave some of the items, or take it back to the. After.
It sounds like we're going to deliver it after. Since... but yeah, Cap, you want to write the letter?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you going to write in it?
We, the adventuring party who came upon you, are indeed still alive. And thank you for your utmost kindness and deliverance of that if we may perish. But we did not. We left the gear by the rest of the camp so you do not have to search too far. I wish thee well, as we shall return very soon. Cat.
Okay, yeah. I'll have that written down, and yeah, I guess we will leave the gear out with the on little stakes so that it's not sitting on the ground to show some respect for them. Chainmail shields and swords and the rings, yeah.
Well, are you just going to willy-nilly leave the rings? You'll get a reward if you hand deliver it to them. Or you can write
I'm
down, they
keeping the
fucking owe
rings.
me, I gave them back those rings.
Mm.
The rings, I think we should hand deliver, just in case some other parties stumble across this site.
Mm-hmm.
Their families
Yes.
will be appreciated.
Then, so we have 5 sets of chain and 6 shields and 7 longswords and 3 warhammers. I assume we're leaving all the shields. Correct?
I'd say this. Leave the armors that we do not want, but take the gold.
Yeah.
Armors
I-
are worth a bit, you know.
The plate
I
armor,
mean-
especially once that's repaired.
I mean,
Just channeling my inner Kuzra out here.
Yeah, I know. Nobody else does, I know. It's a different character. It's
no, I get it. Like,
He literally took the nails off of the door hinges in a dungeon. It's not...
oh,
it's-
dude,
like,
yes,
These
yes.
nails are worth like a gold each, guys. Like, just...
As a carpenter, if you know, you know.
Yeah. And
Well,
rope as well. You can't just cut good rope.
Yeah, I'm taking this rope.
yeah.
Lady Adeline, and the wife of the Baron, makes a good point. Maybe we should. Oh, I don't know.
How
Now I'm
about
confused.
we just say in the letter that we have some of their stuff. If you want it back, we can deal with that when we meet up. But in the meanwhile, we are keeping it for now.
That we'll be returning it safely. Yes.
Yeah, that
That's
we
with the
will return
rings.
it safely upon us coming to Yern. Yes.
I don't like that letter. I don't want to
No?
return the stuff we take. I'm just being honest. I like these rings. They fit my digits.
Clitter
Find
clatter
other
the
rings
rings.
for you.
One
These
actually
are-
falls off as you say that. They're made for beefy paladin hands. You're a tiny cat.
It will. There is a slight complication with that plan, cat, because these are all signet rings, which means they bear the crest of various noble families. And if you wear more than one signet ring, it usually implies you have divided loyalties, which can be a bit of well, a stain on your honor, sort of. Also, it will make people think you are just collecting signet rings from killing knights.
I kind of like that idea. Thank you.
Yes, but if we do end up in Urn, where all the paladins are, and they see you with signet rings from houses of paladins, you might have the whole city against you.
Ooh, that is very true. That is very true.
But,
That
I
would
mean-
mean more rings to collect, though. That is brilliant, Mr. Amazing. You are amazing.
Like I said, an idiot pretending not to be an idiot.
How about this? Leave the letter, and don't mention the belongings, and just let them know that we'll come to town.
Yeah, that seems fair.
And that we're grateful. The first half of the letter was beautiful. It was really good. Very
Yes.
kind. Very nice.
I shall. I could transcribe it down with the edits made. Unless Cat is transcribing it down.
Cat's transcriber it now.
Okay,
Meanwhile, I'll take note of what was his name again? Sun Warden Faizan's. I'll note of his handwriting and signature, and also note that down in my forgery kit. Just to have like a copy of reference for later use.
I got you. Yeah,
Do-
no,
do
you
we
definitely
see
have
you
enough of it
actually-
for you to copy it. He has impeccable handwriting as well. Like, so beautiful. Definitely of noble birth. They're the only people that write that good. So, you all get the cart and start heading up the mountain. Navigating your way through this territory, you are positive, Flittish, that you are going to be mostly safe from any beasts or monsters until you exit this worm's territory. Frostworms are apex predators. If there was something stronger than a frostworm nearby, you have a lot bigger problems in the region than just what you're afflicted with. So you know, at least for the first 16 to 20 miles that you all journey and travel through this area, you're going to be mostly safe. Now, that doesn't mean the terrain is going to be safe for you. However, Flittish, taking the time to attune to those boots, you are no longer cold when you become soaked from that cloak you're wearing. I'm sorry, it's just so funny. The cloak is...
Because of the boots with the fur.
Yep.
We're just making a slushy as she walks.
It is a conundrum, though, because you are soaking wet, but you're warm. Well, not warm, you're just not cold. It's weird.
I'm not a walking popsicle.
Yeah.
You know, it is interesting how many afflictions a person can be afflicted by and still
Exist.
persevere. Yes.
Function.
I wonder where the limit actually is.
Let's not find out on me.
Well, I wasn't going
Agreed.
to try, but it's a thought experiment.
We're gonna get a
Hypothesis.
werewolf, a vampire, and a zombie.
Hmm.
I mean, aren't I inflicted?
Well, well, one could say you are afflicted, somewhat, yes.
So, you all begin your journey, traveling through the snowy terrain and territory, leaving behind the signs of civilization and going further and further up the side of this mountainous terrain and territory. You all cross one peak, and for the briefest of moments, you can see off in the distance Polvar. The city's towers built into the ridges of the base of the smallest mountain, reaching high enough into the sky that you can make out the glimpses of them. The blue tower, the one that now you all know you have some type of issue with currently. Mr. Amazing, you were seen associating with them far too closely. You will be treated as such.
Although I do get a reward, half.
If you turn them in. Yeah.
Yeah, when I spoke with the, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, nobody else is aware of that, so.
No.
However, as you are traveling, you get a little bit higher up, and you can see the towers of Yurn. These bright, large, white towers that affixed to the tops of them are golden rays made out of real gold, ostentatious, bright, and clearly worship of Pelor. As you look on either direction, the two cities still visible for the last time before you continue your journey northwards. Heading up the mountain, you all make it around halfway up one of these ridges before the donkeys and the wagon are giving too much protest to continue. You're no longer going to be able to travel with those.
Can we look for a cave that we could store them in?
Absolutely. Who would like to take up that survival check? The person who asked?
Sure. If let's find a cave to try and store our cart to the donkeys. If Bill wants to give me a hand looking around.
I will give a hand.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
can I help as well, if need be?
Yes.
Sure. Survival. 17.
And then Flittish, yours?
Is that an advantage?
One of you was being helped, so I think Damson took the help.
Okay, gotcha.
I only have a +1.
16. So, between the two of you, you do spy a cave nearby. By the looks of it, abandoned. Maybe at one point in time there was a mine shaft happening in here, but mostly it's cleared out enough. Flittish, you are fully aware that there is one thing you can do. You can leave a little slab of the frostworm's meat inside of this cave. Any beast that smells that will go the fuck away. They are that tier of apex predator where even polar bears fuck no away from it.
Are you sure
Cool.
there wouldn't be Polvar bears?
Polvar bears. Oh, that's good.
All right, so we'll slap down a slab of that meat and go from there.
All right.
I will make sure that the feed is out for the donkeys.
Yep.
Or horses, whatever we have.
And how much more feed do you guys have? You traveled 1 day to get here after leaving Polvar, and you didn't have time to buy any more at Polvar. It took you 2 weeks of journeying to get from the last outpost to Polvar.
Didn't we have rations for like 50 days or something?
We do.
Yeah, I'm just making sure you guys are keeping track.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we have. It'll tell us how long they can stay here without you guys. Before they will wander and leave.
We have 60 days worth of feed.
Remaining?
That was before we traveled for 2 weeks, so we would be at 45 because of the day of travel.
Very good.
No,
Get here?
we'll be at 39 because we did stop.
39, okay. So I'll leave out 10 days worth of feed just because we don't know how long it's going to take. We can always pack up more and move later.
Wouldn't we just leave all the?
I mean, we can leave all the feed out. That's fine.
Yeah.
They will eat it all.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant out like for them to eat, not like.
Yeah.
You guys have donkeys, right?
Yeah.
Donkeys, despite what people think, are smart enough not to overgorge themselves like certain cats.
Yeah.
There are cats that if you leave food out, they'll eat all of it and die. Like, they will. But donkeys are very smart animals.
Okay, so yeah, we can leave out like 19 days because we just don't know how long this mountain trip's going to take. So half of our
just tell the
feed.
donkeys, because for the dish, and I can talk to animals. For the dish, tell them what's up so they understand. If you're willing.
Okay, you can speak to animals.
So can Flittish.
Flittish might be AFK talking to it. So.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll yell at the husband later.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I missed the whispering.
So Kat was saying that, or they were saying they can talk to animals. Forgot you could talk to animals. I said Flittish can talk to animals as well.
Oh,
basically.
yeah, I can.
If you're willing to talk to the donkeys and let them know that we're just going up into the mountains for, let's say, 14 moons.
14 moons?
Yeah, animals don't know what days are, but they know a moon.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right, I will do that. I will pass that message on, let them know that if they run out of food before, or I should say, if they run out of food and we are not back by that time, then they should go be free.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Well, you could also say 28 shits, but I don't know if they can count that high.
They only have 4 fingers.
I have a question. Because I can eat the frostworm meat, does that make the smell I radiate also help deter beasts?
No. Unless your diet was nothing but those rations. Yeah, you deterred companions, but it's you leave the meat out there, they smell it.
Okay. I was just kind of curious because I have some rations on me. I've eaten some of it. It's kind of seeing how that might affect wild encounters as we're going up the mountains.
Oh yeah, if you have it on you while you're traveling, something that may smell it may notice, but like, I'm just giving you a way to actually keep the donkey safe without losing your badass wagon.
Yeah. I just figured I'd ask as you set it up.
I gotcha.
Right.
Anyway,
Let's grab our climbing kits, our bedrolls, and some of the furs and whatnot, just in case.
Mr. Amazing, could you carry my iron pot and pans and...
That is an Easter egg for Stylax carried around.
Yeah.
For those of you watching,
Yeah.
used to carry around Ada's bucket and
Literally just the bucket.
Okay.
with some stuff of hers, with some Ada's stuff in it. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, I actually have all of that mundane shit still. Would actually be. Oh, I'm actually encumbered.
You don't have
All right.
Stylax
So-
to carry stuff
yeah, I
with
need to
anymore.
get rid of some stuff.
You have a wagon right there. You can just-
Yeah, I'll just leave most of my stuff in the wagon.
yeah, just untoggle what you don't have.
Yeah.
Wait, this party still doesn't have a bag of holding, right?
Nope.
Oh, that's
Right.
wonderful. That is wonderful.
I am not encumbered at the moment with everything I'm carrying.
Nice.
Same.
Perfect.
Wait, what the?
The most heaviest thing I've got on me is my money.
Yeah.
Y'all just got paid.
Well, actually, no. My Dungeoneer's pack is the heaviest thing I have. I think.
No.
Yes.
Why does that keep disappearing?
Right go. Kat, as we are going through the mountains, can you make sure that you chart our path so that we can get back out safely, so we don't get lost in there?
I can certainly do so, but depending on the weather, paths could change.
True. True. At least it would give us a better idea of which cave on what mountain we left our cart and mule, so we can come back to.
Oh, you want me to make landmarks? Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Thank you so much.
I do that before we go, just to make sure, you know. Cartographers. What role would this be for, ability use wise?
Wisdom?
Okay.
Yeah.
9.
You put a sign up right outside the cave, said, "Our shit here."
Oh no, that should be an advantage. My bad.
Oh, okay.
21.
Okay. You scale upwards on the side of the mountain, getting high enough up that you manage to pike in a couple of wooden planks and you cover them with snow. Now, as you're doing it, you're just leaving protrusions out at the top of this small peak that you're at. But as everyone else watches, Cat has designed the mouth of this cave, magically somehow, to look like the head of a cat with the ears pointing up. You will notice it on your way back.
You now just see magic meow. Magic meow. Anytime someone walks past, meow.
I was wrong, Cat. You're not afflicted, you are cursed. Or rather, we are cursed.
Yeah, Cat, that was not your intention. You were just gonna leave protrusions. You would notice them, right? If they're spaced out equal amounts, it's easy to notice. Nature does nothing equal. Anyways.
I'll just write it real quick.
Yeah.
This is going to be a brand new landmark going into this area. Yeah, make sure you go past the cat cave. The what? Yeah, it's a cave that looks like a cat. They're like, there's no way it looks like a cat. They get here. Holy shit, it actually looks like an actual cat. What the fuck?
Looks like a fucking cat.
The weirdest thing is like there's no carving marks. How the fuck did this happen? Dwarves would any stonemason would throw a fit.
There are angles unnatural.
You just need to find a wizard who shapes all his golems like dogs and then touch them so they look like cats. They can go crazy.
Make a cat
Wouldn't that just
dog.
turn them into foxes?
Oh. No, foxes are their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, but they're dogs on cat hardware.
All right, thanks, Jake.
So, as you leave your wagon behind, the mountain path. Yes.
Sorry, just if we're gonna, I'm gonna do that thing. If we're gonna go,
By all means, go ahead.
so that way I don't have to interrupt you in the middle. So, Mr. Amazing pulls out his book and he starts to draw a sketch, and then a something kind of comes out of the book and leaps out, and it's a large horse. And he, with a saddle, he gets up and says, "Okay, let's go."
Can I have your horse?
I'm doing it. I don't want my legs to get too cold in the
Alright.
snow.
I was joking, but it would be very, very practical pocket horse you have there.
It's very. I will tell you about it on the way. It's
Hmm.
one of my favorite things that I have.
I tie a sleigh to it. Please.
Confirmed. Ada is a horse girl. Terrifying. As you leave your wagon behind, the mountain path unfolds before you like an ancient, weather-worn tapestry. Narrow, winding trails etched into the cliffside snake upward, edged by steep drops plunging hundreds of feet down, daring you to test your courage with each step. A biting chill clings to the air, a constant reminder of the harsh, untamed nature of this place. Around you, the towering peaks rise sharply, their pale surfaces shimmering like polished marble in the cold sunlight, gleaming expanses of pure salt. The legendary remains of an ancient titan whose colossal form fell here, crystallizing into these majestic, glistening mountains. The salty rock formations glitter with an impossible supernatural brilliance, refracting the sunlight into tiny rainbows that dance playfully around your feet and the mountain. The path itself is as treacherous as it is beautiful. Loose rocks crumble beneath your boots, scattering pebbles and salt crystals downward into the abyss below. Gusts of wind swirl unpredictably, carrying whispers of old legends, of brave adventurers, and ambitious scholars who dared to scale these peaks in search of rare salts, said to dry out even the deepest seas of the strongest beasts. Despite the danger, your heart races, not with fear, but exhilaration. Each step upward brings you closer to secrets long hidden, mysteries bound within the petrified body of an ancient colossus. You press onward, each eager to discover what truths await at the summit of these mythical salty mountains. Who wants the responsibility of rolling for the random weather up here?
Ooh, can I?
Yes! I would love for you to be the one rolling the d6. Just
Three,
don't roll a
two,
1.
1. Bam.
Okay, good, not a 1. So, oh, 1's real bad. As you all are walking, you notice that the mountain itself, the path is too steep. The mountain is too steep. And all of you are taking whatever tools you might have on your persons, utilizing them as best as you can to precariously stab into the snow and venture across. As you are venturing, whom here authentically believes their character is the greediest one in the party?
Ooh.
Authentically, I'm asking out of character, if you believe your character is the greediest person in the party.
Oh, that is.
No, I don't think Damson is.
Flittish isn't either.
Let me just double check. Can
Can it be a tie?
If you believe you're tied, yeah, that means two of you are going to have to make the saving throw. That's fine.
I would agree. It's probably either Ada or Mr. Amazing. They're probably pretty close on that.
Yeah, that's also like it's not Damson because I think Damson's less greedy than Ada.
Okay. So Ada, Mr. Amazing, as you are scaling across the side of the mountain, you both notice chunks of this salt, the legendary salt you are seeking, just sitting here, protruding from the mountain. I need both of you to roll me wisdom saving throws. If you fail, you are going to try to get that. Mission accomplished, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is still all the same day, correct?
Oh, sorry. No, it's been like 2 days. I apologize. You guys
Oh,
are
okay.
traveling for quite a long time now. I apologize. Long rest, change out things.
Thank you.
Okay.
I will use my luck.
Nat 20.
Here we go, lucky.
Let's go, Ada.
22.
That was
Oh, wait.
initiative.
Sorry,
That's
I clicked the wrong thing. I don't know
Wrong
why. I don't
I
know.
word. We're looking for W.
I was too excited.
Woo!
Like, wait a minute,
How
you
the
can't get
dice has a point 15.
Okay, here we
It
go.
was cocked.
19. 19.
Both of you eye up that same chunk protruding from the mountain and look at one another. You know, since you are this precarious on this high up on a slope, that if you were to disturb the foundation of the snow on the mountain, you would cause an avalanche. As enticing as it is to get this, you don't know the repercussions. You don't know what beast you would entice to come out here. You don't know if any of you would survive the avalanche. It is smarter to ignore these chunks than it is to risk it.
I see some of the salt we need, but it's not worth taking.
I can see that you are very intelligent, both in knowing the value and knowing the risk. I concur.
Likewise.
No.
We should make a note of where it is, though, just in case we have trouble finding some other places. We at least know there is some here.
Agreed.
Do we have a map to mark the location?
You guys can chart a map. I don't have a map of the mountain range itself. Sadly, there's no maps like that out there. I tried.
I'll also put some notes in my book so I know.
Yep.
Can maybe try to get back here, hopefully.
Need me
Then
to
we
make
can give
another
the lo-
map? Got it.
Hmm? Then we can give, once we get back, we can give the location to someone and they will come and create an avalanche so we can take the salt and...
I like the way you think.
You assholes. It's just assholes.
Asshole.
Yeah. Cartographers, yep. Do you have
Advantage.
proficiency in survival, Cat?
No, not survival, no.
All right.
So
So
it'd be an 8.
8. I mean, you chart the area. I mean, it's you know where the area is, where specifically the salt chunks on the mountain are. You somewhat mark down. And there's a plethora of them out here like this. There's good chunks, and when I say chunk, I mean like the size of your fist that is just protruding from the snow. But it's affixed to the mountain underneath it. Even trying to chisel would cause things to fall. You all continue scaling until you get over to another peak. Another place for you to rest momentarily. I need somebody to take up the responsibility of a survival check. If you have cartographers, you could roll that instead. If you have both, you roll cartographers with survival at advantage.
I can do that.
By all means.
Survival us, protect the pack. We're walking blindly.
You got this.
Still go.
There you go. 25. You notice, despite the fact that this entire area is so steep, there is large-looking oblong shapes down below. And when you start thinking about it, if the snow was not there, that may be a titan's body. And the scope of its size is incredible. The chest, where you can kind of make out where it would be, is roughly the size of the city of Polvar by itself. That's just the chest. But you know the salt is supposed to be down there, inside of it. You begin looking around, and luckily, Flittish, you take note of a few different locations nearby. Places that look like there's activities by flying assailants. Because of the region you come from, you're able to discern four-limbed creatures with talons, wings, presumably to fly around here. Your best bet is harpies, or something of a kinship to them. Creatures like that like to allure people to them, or if there's certain varieties, they like to grab onto people, lift them, and drop them. Where in a place like this, could lead to death very easily. You can
Those are harpies down there.
Harpies?
Do they have
Call
any
him
eggs?
Harpy.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, just making a dumb
It
joke.
was a joke.
So go ahead, Mr. Amazing. You were speaking first.
Harpies, where? What?
Flittish will point in the direction where she sees the flying creatures.
Fascinating.
I think harpies are a species that lay eggs, so they might have eggs.
I've never autopsied a harpy. We can find out.
Yes, I think they have. We would need to be careful, though.
They in our way.
Is there any way? What do I know of harpies?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Woohoo!
Can I assist him?
You can make your own roll. It's knowledge-based,
Yeah,
so...
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reasonably, from... Harpies are one of those weird creatures that are in most types of terrain and territory. Unless where they drop you doesn't kill you. Like, just...
Oh.
Ooh, nat 1.
Oh, I will use my human
Okay, sure.
for the day.
They might not be in our way, Cat,
16.
but something tells me maybe they will be if they spot us.
Mr. Amazing and Cat, this is information both of you have, and then I'll get to the information just Cat has. Harpies are territorial creatures. They view humanoids as playthings or as, conquerors of their territory. They're not the smartest of creatures or monsters. They are certainly very akin to just murder without even a second guess. You know that by you being up here, you are in their food chain. Cat, at least for the desert area, you can make offerings to them of food where they will realize you are trying to pass, not take their territory. And if you give them enough food to satiate their flock, they would be capable of accepting such a gift. If you were trying to get through here without fighting.
Cat will relay this to the others on top with amazing from the desert point of view.
How many do we count? Handful?
At least 4 nests that Flittish saw.
I think we could give him some of the food. It makes it a bit easier and make allies.
Agreed. We have plenty of rations with us.
It's assuming they'll be rational.
Right.
That is fair. If not, we can always go back to the old traditional way of,
Kicking ass, yes.
Cat slowly summons their weapon and turns it into a seal club.
Well, we would be giving away the element of surprise.
Well, true. But if we're just trying to pass through, which we are, we're not trying to take the territory, it's worth a shot.
Speaking of shot and surprise, what if one or two of us hang back, the other two offer, and then as a distraction, and then we attack?
I like it, yes. Agreed.
Why fight them when we don't have to?
And if it goes wrong, then we're all together.
That would be fine if we're all together.
The precautionary ambush.
Yes.
Yes.
I do like the way you think.
Likewise,
I
see why you call yourself Mr. Amazing.
So,
I believe you two are right, and I vote that you two are the ones who negotiate them.
No, that will be you. The ones who hang back need to be unseen,
Flittish, would you like to be part of the offering group or part of the...
well, I think we should do a party vote first.
Well, yeah, no, this is in the... Yeah, he's...
Okay.
He's assuming... I'm not saying... He's assuming.
Okay, yeah.
I'll phrase it this way. When the food is offered, do you want to be next to them or do you want to be away from them?
Probably next to, because I'm more of a melee fighter if things go pear-shaped.
I would suggest that the ones who know something about these creatures would be the one to talk to them.
I'm not going to just bait them just for them to die if they do not have to.
Well, I mean, we're only going to attack if they attack.
That's not what you said before.
Is this? So, okay, so one part of our group goes forth, offers them food for safe passage. Another part, 2 or 3 individuals hang back, hidden, and if they are hostile, then we turn hostile, and not everyone loses the element of surprise. That is the idea.
With Kat's words in mind, if they are attacked and Flittish goes to fight, she will do so to defend, not to intentionally injure or kill.
Yes. Okay, I will go and be the one to speak. Danson, do you wish to come or stay?
I'll come with you, Cat.
So, out of character, are we all agreeing to the we will try to offer, but if it goes belly up, those that are hiding just hee hee hee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
All right then. Then everybody, I think this is a good stopping point for the session this week. When we come back next week, we get to parlay with the Harpies. You actually have the faces of your party doing it for once, which is fantastic. But also, when we come back next week, you guys are going to be level 7. Players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Level